make this story time because, like I did do a misconnections in that video. I love, the whole topic about misconnections because when we really think about it, a lot of us have had friends, lovers, or just situations where it was a connection with somebody, right? And life happened, or you just for one reason or another, you couldn't keep in touch with them, you couldn't get their contact, their Facebook and things like that. So I love that whole misconnection topic because for me personally, I've had a lot of them. But there's one that I remembered, and y'all, I'm so embarrassed that I cannot remember her name. But she reminds me a lot of myself, and no, this person is not me, okay? I want to say we worked at yeah, it was Six Flags. It was definitely Six Flags. And this was in the summertime. So we didn't live in the same neighborhood. We didn't go to the same school or anything. But I just remember how she looked. She was dark skinned. She had a nice length of hair. It was like, shoulder length. How the girls try to like, back in the day, if you're a 90s baby or whatever, like when we were like teenagers and getting older, they would like have like the streaks, so like the blonde or the light brown streaks in their hair and stuff. And so it was like a nice, like she used to wrap her hair pretty much. And she was a little taller than me. But when we met at Six Flags, first of all, this was before I knew that I was a chosen one, okay? So most of the people were cool. Most of the people I worked with, they didn't, because I was so young then I didn't know the signs of like the whole gang stalking stuff. I didn't know about that. But there was a moment where, well, we only worked together twice because she did what you call those little Dippin' Dot things. But I think it wasn't just that. It was just like a bunch of different ice cream, or maybe it was even slushies, drinks, or something like that. But she was one of those people that worked in like the little box stand thing. What do you call that? It's like the box stand. If you know what it's like, you're in this little thing to yourself and they can line up, and you just, they tell you how much, if you know about old school Six Flags in Atlanta, then you know what I'm talking about. And I was a locker attendant, so I had to kind of like get people's bags, cell phones, or show them if we had one, because some of them didn't work or whatever, and some of them did. And so that was pretty much, they would move me from different rides that had lockers. So maybe the Superman would have it, maybe like the Goliath, like just different rides had like a locker area where that's where they were at, because you could use it and you could still walk around the park and go to different rides and stuff. If you get what I'm saying. So I want to say, because the park was huge, so there was like 2 days where me and her got to hang out. We got to talk, like, so we would be talking about life, like we would just be talking and stuff like that while there was no line. And then when people all of a sudden, like when our conversation would be getting real good, like one person would come and she'll try to hurry up so we can get back to talking, and then the next thing you know, it'd be like a long line. I remember her looking at me while she was like shoveling the ice cream and stuff and giving it to people and getting the money and talking to them. I remember her looking at me like doing like a sad face or whatever, right? But some of the stuff that me and this person talked about, right, it's just a quick story time, y'all. We both had a lot in common, okay? I don't remember her sign. This was a long, long time ago, but I do remember a lot of the things that we laughed about. And she was like, I know, right? And pretty much it just made me realize that if I do, because I heard like other gang stalkers, y'all, I don't mean that. I've heard other people that deal with gang stalkers saying that when you meet people that you get along with and that you have a lot in common with, they want to keep you away from them people, right? You'll never see them again. And if it's people that you hate, if it's people that make you hate them, if it's people that they already know you have nothing in common with them, this person is definitely going to be somebody that wants to bully you, or somebody that's going to just try to just, you know what I'm saying, make the job or make the time hard for you, or they're going to keep you around that person. And this morning, thinking about that story time, I got like a light bulb moment. A light bulb moment kind of went off in my mind. And a lot of people refer this type of stuff to the Truman Show movie, right? Which I'm so over it, y'all. Like, we get it. A lot of people have been being watched since they were a child. We get the whole concept of the movie. But a light bulb moment went off in my mind when it comes to the people that I've heard say that, when they've said stuff like the word they'll keep you away from the people that you get along with, or that you have like a really good connection with, whether it's like relationships, whether it's like just friends or something. And the light bulb moment went off like, well, and then the Truman Show. So obviously the network that's behind sending people to harass you, to gang stalk you, that network is the ones that are like, no, hell no, y'all not. Because for one, which I love to dive into the spiritual aspect of everything, but for one, we already know these people are pure demon, just garbage. They're not good people. They're not like divine beings or anything like that. But the experience that they want you to have, they're not blind to angels or other divine beings, or people that are just not so infiltrated with hatred yet, because there's people that are a part of, I believe, certain situations and secret societies that do get like they get poisoned energetically, so to speak, like eventually. And I feel like that's on purpose. Like I do feel like there's a process when they're like, we want to make this person dark because then we can use them more for our agendas to just wreak havoc in the world and make the society fucked up. That's truly what's going on. And so I do feel like those individuals that we never see again, like I said, it's a light bulb moment for the misconnections thing. It's not a coincidence. And it's a group of people or a society or like a collective decision from the same energies. They don't have to be the same exact people or the same exact organization, fraternity, lodge, whatever, but there's a collective decision that, yeah, let's keep them away. And I want to dive deeper into why, right? This was all a part of that light bulb moment. This is be a quick, it really wasn't a long story time, but I want to talk about that, and then I want to talk about my own personal situation that I'm dealing with. Well, we'll see. If I get a confirmation that I shouldn't, I won't, but it's probably healthy if I do. Okay, we all need somebody to talk to from time to time, you guys. So I really appreciate y'all over here at Honeytribe, the few people that do show me love and everything like that. It does not go unnoticed. What a time to be alive, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, while a lot of you guys as well as myself, we're beautiful energies on this planet in such a dark time right now. Like I said, I just really appreciate the people who haven't been tainted by the world, or just infiltrated with just a lot of hatred and a lot of low vibrational energies, because that shit is just not cool. So yeah, I feel like those people that are like really into that type of stuff, like into those cults, and they've already like underwent some sort of dark process, okay, like to harden them and to just make them like, yeah, I'm in this shit for life, yeah, as long as the food and the money good, and as long as I'm good, and and I got everything that I need, then fuck it out, I'll just be an evil person or whatever. I feel like the collective of those energies, like I said, their spiritual downloads about certain people is that it bothers them, first of all, that they see you for who you really are. And when I say you, I mean anybody that's chosen, that has had a misconnection with a person and you guys hit it off, that y'all could finish each other's sentences. You appreciated them, you seen the love and the good in them, and they seen the same in you, and you never seen them again, you never heard from them again, just like the Truman Show, that situation with him and that girl. So I feel like the reason why they'll do that is because it bothers them that somebody, because they see the same thing that the person that they don't want you around anymore sees in you. But the whole point is they'll go out of their way to just like, okay, well, we've already completely trampled over this person's heart, let's put them around this person. And those are like the gang stalkers. Those are like the people who, they just like, they can be controlled. They're so low vibing and they've been broken so bad that all it takes is a prayer, a spell, or something to control them, some sort of mind manipulation. And the light that you have inside of you will irritate the fuck out of their demons. And that's like, those are the people they want to keep you around, because they've already done just took them through it. They done took them through there, if you know what I mean. And so now they're just like, they're not good for anything but gang stalking, but harassing people, but trying to get reactions and lower people's frequency. So people who just have like that angelic energy, like you can tell there's like spiritual presence around them. They have like fairies, the divine beings and stuff like that, helping them in this dark world and, on this journey. A lot of times those people, when they get around you, the evil group of people that are like in control of people, they like hate that, because it's like this person sees not only that something is wrong with the way that we're trying to treat that person, which is you, the chosen one, but they actually would prefer to be around them, to talk to them. They feel like they can be themselves, that they can, break free from this wickedness that we're doing. Ultimately, it's just sad, y'all. And so that was the download that I received, because I used to really think it was a coincidence. I literally used to think that it was just a coincidence, that maybe people, like, disappeared, that there were people that moved to another country, maybe passed away, maybe went to prison for a long time. Like, when I would think about why I don't see certain people, why I never seen certain people again, like, that's the type of stuff I really used to consider. And with so many people that are going through this, saying in their videos, like, just like the Truman Show, when they kept that girl away from him, the light bulb moment went off. And it's like, so whether these people are really in certain cults or not, maybe their family, maybe their friends, either way, something was done, and it was understood, and overstood, that that person, were not to go around said person anymore. Okay, y'all, my allergies be tripping sometimes, so if I sneeze, excuse me. But yeah, it was pretty much understood, and overstood, that no, we don't want you and this person being friends. We don't want y'all hanging around each other. We don't want y'all talking or whatever. And just the other part of the light bulb moment was that I get why. You know what I'm saying? Because when they're trying to, really, with you chosen ones, with us chosen ones, it's not even that they're trying to destroy us, because they already see that they can. It's like, it's about just torturing you, because they can't destroy you now. They couldn't tear the light out of you. You still are able to have like that childhood type of faith. Like, a lot of adults, they lose that, and it's just, they go along with the program. And some people never lose it. They believe in love, they believe in God, the divine, the spiritual realm, they believe in faith and hope. And well, you still can. And maybe it's that, and that's the divine energy. That's what you're supposed to be in, right? The other stuff is just, it's paperwork. It's just, it's some stuff that was agreed to, and it's a I don't want to say it's a matrix, 'cause that's not what I'm trying to say. It's a program. It's not reality. And so once they realize, damn, like, really, I want you chosen ones to, like, literally see what I'm showing you. Like, a lot of these Masons and Eastern Stars, when they have taken you guys, like, through heartbreaks, they've done the most, y'all, to, like, really destroy you. And when they look back and they see, like, the way God still got you showing up and still, like, loving yourself, even though they're like, well, we've already made it to where they're not gonna make any money, and they're not gonna, no matter which way they go in the matrix, they're gonna be, da 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 da, and they're still, they know it's God. They know it's God, every little thing, because every little thing you do, they want it to fail, they want it to fall through, they don't want it to turn out how you want it. And it's like, so they see it, they see, like, the divine energy around you. But I want you guys to like, visually, vividly see what I'm trying to show you as far as these devils. Like, the stuff that they've done to a lot of us chosen ones, like, they purposely did it to make us give up. Like, give up on believing, give up on faith, give up on love, give up on hope, give up on yourself. And when they see that you don't do that, like, these people be looking like this. Like, literally. Like, I just did all of that, and this person is somewhere smiling, happy, somewhere, like, and it don't be fake. Like, you literally be in a high vibrational energy. You really have, like, just this beautiful presence around you, okay? And it's from spirit, it's from your guardian angels and stuff. So that was that. And then last but not least, I want to take a couple minutes to, if you guys like conspiracy theories and things like that, you will enjoy this next opinion of mine. But if you don't, then you can go ahead and click off the video now. So there was a singer that left out, I want to say in the early 2000s or in the late 90s, okay? This singer, it wasn't that many around that time, so a lot of you guys probably for sure know who I'm talking about. She was definitely a black woman, beautiful, could dance as well, really good, okay? Everything is allegedly in all of my videos, okay? And that's just to, keep down confusion and drama when it comes to, So this woman, I believe, was very spiritual, okay? She was very aware, okay, of enemies, okay, whether they were white people, black people, it didn't matter. And she was very aware of spirituality. I believe that this particular woman, after her passing, or before her passing, should I say, excuse me, she wanted to cleanse her energy from certain things. And Yemoja worked really close with her. She's like a mermaid energy, siren energy, but she's more so like just, the mother energy. And she's like really known in like 21 divisions or E5. And I worked really close with her energy, and she was showing me that. That's something I never seen after years of listening to that song, after years of, showing love and homage to that particular woman, that singer. She was like, that's what that was really about. Now, the lyrics, it'll throw you off and you would think that it's just about smacks, but it's really about her asking spirit, asking that energy, that deity, Yemoja, to pretty much cleanse her, okay? Especially with the music video. And so you want to know, like, we asked, like, well, cleanse from what? Things that she wasn't aware of, things that she agreed to, pacts, oaths, whatever, And where I come in the mix is, I know that I am a legend reincarnated, Dorothy Dandridge to be exact. A lot of people, like I said, for the people that don't believe this, why I told them to click off. A lot of people don't even believe in reincarnation. They're Christian, or they have a religious faith that this is only lifetime. After this lifetime, they just vanish, and I guess that's it. They either go to hell or heaven. That's what a lot of people believe, and I don't believe that. Now, I didn't always have knowledge about this, about me being Dorothy Dandridge reincarnated, but I have a very weird, strong connection to that energy when I was a child, and I didn't know why. And again, for y'all to watch movies like The Truman Show, there's no such thing as coincidences. So that VCR movie was in my house growing up, and we watched it a lot. But I still, as I got older, like 18, 19, I still had no idea. It still was like, and then there was one day that I feel like, just like with The Truman Show, that I was being surveillanced by not even just black people, but mainly for this moment, white people, okay? The dark archons or elite or whatever you want to call them. I feel like they were watching the whole time, waiting for me to figure this out. Because like I said, I used to watch the movie. I used to like it. I used to like the energy, but I had no idea. And so I didn't come into, okay, so that moment that I know they were watching and waiting for, it did not happen until I want to say it was like 2021. That's when it happened. And it was so random. It happened by me. I was like researching her birthday, right? Or I was watching the movie again and they said her birthday. And I said, I had to run it back. I said, hold on, what? And then it's really spooky, y'all. And then I go to looking at her pictures, or I was watching documentaries and stuff. I think that's how I found out. Because, right, I wasn't watching the movie because I was going through, like, as usual, going through stuff with my living situation and stuff like that. So, actually, I was, all right, sorry, you guys. So actually, I was watching a documentary and they said her again. See, I really used to just love her energy. I didn't know why I could resonate with like the sadness, the depression, the being alone. Like I didn't understand that, but I could, right? And so one day I'm watching a documentary as usual, and not to mention, like Beyonce. All black girls, we love our Beyonce. She actually tried to do like a hip hop opera, redoing that movie, showing homage to Dorothy Dandridge. And so, anywho, I was watching a documentary and I was like looking at her birthmarks. And then I pulled up some pictures and it just something weird in my chest. I was like, then I started flashing back to my childhood. And I don't know, y'all, the feeling was so overwhelming. And then the birthday, I'm like, okay, her birthday is November 9th. My birthday is November 8th. She sings and acts. I took drama in school. I've always loved to act, and I sing. That's when I went through my great awakening, knowing that reincarnation was real. On top of doing tarot readings and things, you guys. So I never really really broke down the story time about that, like how I didn't just pop out and start saying it without facts. I would never claim to be somebody reincarnated that big, who went through such an awful life, and her death is still like a conspiracy. Her unaliving is like a conspiracy. People don't know if she was unalived on purpose by white sea people, or if she actually did commit suicide. I would never ever ever in my life or my kids' heart claim something like that if I didn't know for a fact. Okay. Do I have paperwork to prove it? No, but like I said, these cards don't lie, and if you know, you know. On top of that, let's link it back to the whole singer situation that had, was unalived and went through something in the 90s or the early 2000s. She went by the name of, Baby Girl, right? And there was also an athlete that also went out that way, that I just pray that these people are really somewhere in a witness protection program, they just wanted to get out of the whole fame thing and just go live on an island or something like that and be left alone. I really hope that that's the case, and I really feel like it is. Because coincidences like that, there ain't nothing gonna just happen like that back to people. Anywho, it's a lot of them that with the plane. I believe Juice World, something happened with him on a plane where he's supposedly overdosed on a plane or something like that. So anyway, rest in power to all of those beautiful souls. But I feel like there was some things that were exposed way back then, because we know things like OES, Eastern Stars, Masons, Prince Hall, fraternities, Greek fraternities, and things like that. We know this type of stuff existed in the 90s and the 2000s. Gang stalking, I'm sure, existed. It probably wasn't a lot of awareness to it. A lot of people wasn't talking about it. There was no YouTube and TikTok, but it was happening. Even if it was just a person actually surveillancing somebody, these things were going on. And I believe that somehow, some way, because I've been, my family, my mother, we've always been connected to certain celebrities, and there is a particular woman that was definitely on the level of Aaliyah, to say her name, just different random people, Destiny's Child, that was definitely on the level of a lot of people, just to name a few artists, if you get what I'm saying, that my family has been close to, who are on that level, and definitely that were on that level back then. And I used to wonder, what is the real connection? Why were certain celebrities already knowing me? It's a long list. I could name so many of them that reached out to me, and I used to think why me? You know what I'm saying? That wanted to chit chat with me, or that would say my name, or I'm I just seen you the other day at this store. Now you at my job. I went through this literally. And these were big celebrities on the radio, on TV every day. And let's just back up a little bit. I also went through, the foster care system, okay? And this is around the time too where I would see some of those people. But now that I'm out of that foster care system, I tell my age all the time, I'm definitely in my early middle, kind of middle 30s. And I think life is a beautiful thing. Nobody wants to get old, but yet nobody wants to die, And so at the end of the day, I just feel as far as a lot of people bringing awareness to racism and stuff like that, it was no coincidence. I had dreams around the time that September 11th happened, which numerology definitely plays a part. And back to the Dorothy Dandridge situation, just follow me. Just keep up and follow me what I'm saying. Her birthday, as I already stated, is November 9th, 11/9. And my birthday is November 8th, but September 11th happened on 9/11, right? Which is 11/9 backwards. The twins, to me, that aspect represents twins, but it represented a reincarnation, if you ask me. Okay. And the reason why, the last point that I have to make, that this is a fact, what I'm about to say. Okay. I don't have any proof, but it's a fact, what I'm about to say. Around that time, George W. Bush was in office. Everything is allegedly. Around that time, the president was George W. Bush. I was in the 4th grade, okay? How old are you when you're in 4th grade? You're 9, right? There's something also with 9 or Yah energy also showed me these things, which is chaos, death, all of that type of stuff, right? So around that time, I was having a lot of reoccurring dreams in the 4th grade, 9 years old, that I was running from law enforcement. Okay? 9 years old, fourth grade, running from the police. What have I done to be running from the police in fourth grade? What law have I broke? Anything that I would have done at that age, most normal human beings and adults would have said, but that's a kid. They don't know any better. That's a child. Either they're mimicking something they've already seen somebody do to them. They're a kid. This is not a grown person. This is not an adult. They don't know what they're doing. Moving on further past that, I did nothing wrong, okay? I just wanted to also put that in there. That even if I did steal a pack of candy from a store, which I didn't. I'm just showing you an example. I was either doing something I seen somebody else do, which is sometimes what kids do. That's why you have to watch what you do around them. Or I was doing something that had happened to me, right? So I had done nothing wrong. And I was dreaming, reoccurring nightmares of running for my life from the police, jumping over buildings, jumping through, going through conjoining hotel room doors. And I had no idea why, okay? Back in, I want to say 2022. No, it was definitely 2020. That's when I started to wake up to those dreams. I'm like, because this is when it got hot to talk about being gang stalked. It was hot. It was like a trending topic. A lot of people were talking about how the police follow them, they're gang stalked. So I kind of like, it pulled me out of just accepting my life like that and thinking stuff is a coincidence and like constantly getting my heart stepped on and people betraying me. And I started looking into it and I was like, you know what? I deal with that. Wow. And that's when I started researching it. Now, I want to say that's when I really started to wake up, because I started to also link certain dreams that I had younger together. I was like, I remember being a kid and dreaming that I was running from the police. So around that time and moving forward past that time, that's when I really started to kind of like, I wouldn't say lose my mind, but I started to wake up so much to the point that I was angry. I was frustrated because not only was it still going on, but I knew it was an injustice on top of other things. Like I've talked about it, I don't think in like any recent videos, but there were 2 occasions where me and I think it was 2 different friends, but definitely one girl that I was with, her name was Crystal, like mine, and we were walking down the street and there was this pickup truck of white men. And we had got real cute, y'all. Like, I don't know where we was finna go. It could have been Six Flags, the mall, downtown, I don't know. But we're walking to maybe just to go to the store or something, because she was spending the night by my mom's apartment, okay? This was off of a Red Oak, okay? And this white pickup truck, or it was just like could have been a burgundy pickup truck, I don't know. But they slowed down and poured something on us, and it was like warm, and it really didn't have a smell like that. And we both were like, oh! Like, we both were like, this scarred me. And when we looked up, it was a pickup truck, and it was like white boys in the back of it. Like the pickup truck where you could sit in the back of it or whatever. And we could see them, like, they didn't have, some of them didn't have shirts on, and some of it was like really giving KKK shit, right? And so, I smelled it again, and then I was like, you could tell it was urine, okay? And they had in the Quick Trip cup that they poured it on us. It was like one of those big Quick Trip cups. And like I said, this was way before I had like kids or anything. I didn't have any children at this time. And so, we went to my house. We took a shower, washed our hair. I was giving her all kind of like different clothes to put on after that, which, she really couldn't fit my clothes. But, I gave her like some bigger T-shirts and stuff like that. And we threw away the clothes that we had on. But that scarred me. Now, it happened again. I had a homegirl that said that it did happen again. When she said it happened again, I don't remember it happening again. But she swears by the fact that it happened when me and her were also together. But I definitely remember that time with the girl Crystal when we were in College Park off of a Red Oak area, right? And my mom was like, oh my God. When I told my mom, she's like, oh my God. Like, my mom just couldn't believe it. And so there is a lot of different synchronicities with, like I said, the dream that I had, the reoccurring dreams that I had, that I was running from law enforcement in the 4th grade. 4th grade is also around the time that I remember that the September 11th happened. That's also Dorothy Dandridge's birthday reincarnated. Dorothy Dandridge's birthday, and I'm her reincarnated. And last but not least, I got like a major download that, well, we already know that a lot of people in general have been being watched since forever. And a lot of us know that it's not too far off to believe that the government, the CIA or whatever, they can, try to plan things out for a person's life. And so I have dealt with a lot of instability with my living situation. I'm not ashamed of that because um, in true nature, in my true character, I'm not a bum. I'm not somebody that doesn't want to have their own business, that doesn't want to work, that doesn't have gifts and different talents and creativity to be able to get out here and make a living like the next person. And so with that being said, I have notice, especially at the age that I am now, that, this thing has got very wicked to where it's like, no matter where I think about working to employ myself, to take care of myself, I'm not going to continue to do something that I know is harmful, that I know that I'm better than. I love myself. So, adult entertainment, that's cool for some people. If you got family members that's going to hold you down and love you and protect you and people aren't going to judge you, then fine. But somebody like me, I've been sexually abused, excuse me, for as long as I can remember. The last thing I want to do to survive is that. You know what I'm saying? I barely even want to open up and do that with somebody that I'm thinking about loving or being in a relationship with. That being said, um, it's like I've dealt with a lot of abuse, even when it comes to that smex thing, you would think that while I was in that lifestyle that people would have kind of left me alone, felt bad maybe because I'm having to do that to survive. But why would anybody want to stay in a lifestyle like that when while you're doing it, you're constantly being called names, you're constantly being, it's just all negativity. And every woman that's in that life doesn't deal with that. You have women where all of the good songs, all of the songs like, I still like you, I still love you, I get it, we gonna come up out of this, da, 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 whatever the music is that, that they play in the strip clubs or stuff like that. It's like that energy is more so like put on them, but it's like a really angry, like hateful, disrespectful energy that I've noticed, that it would like be directed towards me. So that wouldn't work out either, not even just the music and that energy, just the whole like energy behind, oh, she just wants you to, come pay her for a dance or, for her time because she needs food, she needs somewhere to live, so don't do it, like that, and so why would anybody want to ever even think about being in something like that? So well, in my shoes, why would you want to do that? So but I've noticed like a pattern for as long as I can remember. Once I finally woke up that I was being trafficked again, I have a story about that. Story time's like almost 5 hours, y'all, but it's really juicy, and you could always pause it and come back and watch. But I'm waiting to get to a certain amount of subscribers, and then I will definitely unlock that particular live stream. But yeah, I just started to notice like years ago, but I'm talking about now, that it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like this. It's people, obviously, but there's like a demonic energy to where it's like when you're somebody that is so like you're a gem. You're just you're rare, and you have a beautiful soul. You can love people for them. You're a kind person. You like to see people win. You're like a flower. It's sad because it's like so many like dark, hateful people. I've never been, like I said earlier, I've never been the type of girl that, maybe as a kid, maybe because I was around the wrong people and bad influences rub off on you, but I've never been the type of person as a woman, as an adult, that wants to hang with a group of people and be like, yeah, let's jump them, beat them up, yeah, make her cry, make them, I've never like been like that. And I feel like really the energy that I've dealt with as being, a targeted individual or being a chosen one, whatever you want to call it, it's been like people in that type of energy, like and it's been big, like it's been like not just in a community, not just in one state, like they would all like this spirit, this energy. It's like they would, let's go look this person up that you're talking about, or let's just go see. And it's like they would see my light. When I say light, I mean like my wisdom, my intelligence, my ability to forgive, my ability to move on with my life, to want better, to dream big. They would see that, and it's like, yeah, I'm on y'all bandwagon. They can't come here either. They can't work here either. And so I've been hanging in there by the grace of the divine, okay? And I'm not ashamed to say that, because sometimes that's all you need. Most of the time that's all you need. Love, the energy of love, the frequency of love, my spirituality as well as my faith has been carrying me through mysterious ways, like God likes to work in mysterious ways. And more doors are going to definitely open up for me. They have no choice. But I just wanted to share a piece of me with you guys today, Honey Tribe, with, give y'all something to really think about. Get away from people that don't want you to exercise free individual thinking. Because this is definitely what I'm dealing with. This is definitely what I'm going through. I used to want to believe, oh, that's just a coincidence because it's such a sad story, but I can never unsee it. I can never unsee the truth. And I know, like I got the download earlier that those people were watching me. Who is those people? We know, the elite, the archons. They were watching me and they were like, because I used to say a lot of times in foster care, I would always say, man, I can't wait till I get older. Like a lot of us probably did in high school. High schoolers now probably say stuff like that. But I used to always be like, because I was going through the foster care thing and it was so much I was dealing with. I used to be like, man, I can't wait to turn 18. I can't wait to, be living on my own and be an adult and stuff like that. And I feel like those racist people were like, why? Where are you going to go? You're not going to have any family. You're not going to have any friends. You're not going to be an adult and just work. We're not going to, how? And it makes perfect sense looking at my life. Like, trying to have a family, trying to work. Like, yes, we all go through hard times, but the narcissist will try to clutch on to that and take away from my truth. That we all have ups and downs, that a lot of black people deal with racism. But the fact of the matter is, there's nobody that's as isolated as me. When I go through things, I have nobody that I can call because everybody has agreed to something. I don't have the proof on that, but I feel it. I feel it with the way that my life is. There's a lot of people that had to have agreed to not communicate with me, not love me, not support me, not be friends with me, not be somebody I can trust. There's had to be a large collective group of people in the world that agreed to this, because when I go through things, I can't call somebody and say, hey, or dad or uncle or brother or cousin, this, that, and happen. So again, I'm not saying that there's not people out there that don't like dealing with their family, that don't like, or they don't have a father, or their parents are crackheads, or they don't have people that they can call and vent to that will pull up and help them when in a time of need. I'm not saying there's not people that go through that, but they're not as isolated as me. So even if that is the case, guess what? I'm sure it's somebody that they're, and when I get close to these people, I see that. It's still people that they're talking to on the phone that they, are communicating with. I am completely isolated. And even if somebody does give me a compliment or is nice or reaches out to me, that's it. It's nothing like, there's no depth to it. It's not anything that's just like a big deal. And I feel like it was planned out. And it's so many people hurt in the world. It's so many hurt people. It's so many miserable people that, they weren't going to take the time to think about, like, well, why is this like this? Why are we doing this? Like, because any reasons that we come up with for doing this to this person, we can say that about so many other people. Like, why are we really going this far? We're trying to ruin somebody's life. We're trying to make it to where they have nobody. They have no income. Why? Why are we doing this? And I'm not even worrying about why they want to do it or why they think they're doing it. I know that this was planned out while I was in foster care, around the time when I had that dream of running from law enforcement for my life. This world, this country, to be exact, is so racist that you would plan something out like that on a baby girl, a child. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't get it, but I do know justice will be served. I do know that I'm not going to let anybody or any energy stop me from living every single day to the best of my ability while I'm here on this earth, trying my best to give back and shed a light on things in this world and just be myself. I'm not going to let anybody stop me from doing that. Yes, there's evil people in this world. Yes, there's people that want to see me just in the most unnecessary, evil, fucked up situations, but it was planned out to be like that because I love on myself and get through the comments. When people try to call me like, a bum, or people try to call me out my name, call me a slut, a whore, or they try to, whatever hateful things that people say about me, I ignore these things by knowing that, well, they know that if you were to go and apply for a job at Best Buy, if you were to go and apply for Walmart, majority of those people that work there surveillance you. Majority of those people that work there would all look at each other and say, she can't come here and work here. So I don't take it personal when people want to call me a bum or call me a whore or call me out of my name. Now, I'm never going back to that lifestyle with selling my body. I'm never going to do that again. But I'm not going to stop pursuing my music. If I even want to dabble into modeling, I'm not going to stop doing that. You understand? So I just wanted to drop this video for a lot of you chosen ones and give y'all some hope, give y'all some encouragement so that you know you're not the only person that is dealing with this. My situation, I'm an individual, I'm a legend reincarnated that did something very big for melanated women. And these people have it out for me because I made it where melanated women are, they're still struggling with being looked at as equal against other races, but people can clearly see that the beauty in black women as well, not just as far as looks, but as far as their talent, as well as far as them being able to be somebody that is a revolutionary, a revolutionist, somebody that is, for freedom, somebody that is for our rights. And a lot of times people don't know that Dorothy Dandridge was very, very conscious and spiritual. And she also used to go to events like that, protests and all of that type of stuff. So it's a reason why those people, have been watching me, and to be petty and to get back at me long before I was an adult and actually got the chance to, time to go get the license, a lot of stuff has always been blocked for me by those people. It's always been hard for me. So yes, it can get frustrating. Sometimes it can even hurt, and it can be an annoying, very annoying when you have people that constantly want to, every area, every stage and age and phase of your life, you're only in this situation because you're at this job, because you're staying with this person, because you're working, you're hustling, and you're doing this and that. And it's like, it's being forced like that, because in reality, you're somebody that's very smart, somebody that's very bright, okay, as far as intelligence, somebody that is very, very creative and talented. There's no excuse. And you're somebody that doesn't mind putting the work in, okay? Somebody that is a workaholic when it comes to your talents and your gifts. Not somebody that's waiting on somebody to come save them. You're really somebody that if people got out of the way and people said, they want to work here. Okay, excuse me. While you're saying, excuse me, let me get by. You would never need to stay with anybody. You would never need anybody when it comes to feeding yourself and keeping a roof over your head. You understand? And so, yeah, this was definitely planned out, I believe. Like, we're going to watch you. We're going to, coach and show everybody else how to watch you. And before you know it, you're still going to be feeling like a foster child as an adult, nigger. I really feel like it was some racist stuff like that was being said, and done and planned out. And, you mature and you get to a certain age where you just can't unsee it no more. And that's what I see. It's like I be like, literally, in my mind, I be talking to God like, okay, God, I'm getting older, and it's like the same energy. But if I try to go work, if I try to, like, they're forced in that narrative. And some people are so toxic. God showed me that they know that. They already know that if you try to go work here, there, wherever, they're going to try to block you. But they're so hateful that they're like proud of that. They're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And then we're going to call you broke. Yeah. But the saddest part about that is they're just picking up the agenda from something that was already planned. It was already planned for us to have hateful, miserable, low vibrational Masons and Eastern Stars want to do this to you. Because, clearly you never really had anybody if you ended up in foster care. Okay. So, yeah, that was just the story time, you guys, as well as just me chatting with y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to Princess Diamond Tarot, where I definitely do readings. Okay, I keep them nice, short, and sweet, and down to the point. I also pull advice, or sometimes we're looking to love, romance, and relationships. They're definitely helpful. You will notice that a lot of the stuff resonates in your life. I've also been looking into astrology, so when I get better with that, I'm studying it right now. I can definitely, do some short 5-minute clips about that. And yeah. As far as the mukbang, cook with me, you guys, I've been making my own homemade slushies, but I think we all know how to do that. But I will say that the best kind is if you get those Skittle packs, like it's like the little tubes of the Skittle Kool-Aid, where it's like a box and it comes with a bunch of them. They call them like little singles. Those are so good. And I like to add like lime juice. Okay, you not from a fresh lime, but just like the lime juice that's already concentrated with like some sort of carbonated water or soda, lime soda or something like that. Mix that up and freeze it until it's like slushy, not too hard. But even if it gets too hard by accident, I'm telling y'all, it's the best ice you could ever eat. But yeah, I like to get it slushy like that, and it's so much better than like Quick Trip, or I mean anything is better when you're making it yourself, you know. But it's like so good. It's better than, it has so much flavor in it. It's like so juicy and it's just so good. So I have been doing that to keep me like cool while it's so hot outside and stuff like that right now, y'all. But I don't know yet. I probably do like some stuffed bell peppers or something like that and do like a cook with me. I don't know, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, you never know, or whatever. But I hope y'all have a good week, a happy Monday. Keep your vibration high, and till I come back with another video. Honey Tribe.